everyone, welcome to Honest Astrologer, and today's video is going to be a very special one. I usually avoid making any sort of video on current things, what's happening, what's not. But this time Divya came up with a very sensational happening on the internet and how Dasha Sandhis work into it, and she had made a prediction. So this time she will be the one doing all the talking, I'll be the sidekick. And she is the one who has picked this topic and her observations. So, Divya, welcome to the channel. तुम्हारे videos वैसे भी बहुत popular होते हैं, so I hope this one also gets popular. So, tell us about what happened and what made you think about running this video, creating this video.
Sir, thank you for having me. And what a day today. I think God wanted this to happen. Today is a Saturday. And the topic we will be discussing again is Shani. So, because of my own personal Dasha Sandhi, I think I've been researching a lot around Dasha Sandhi, as we call it the handover takeover period. जब energies planet की बहुत severely change होती हैं. So for some famous people, I always try and find the dates, and through Chandra Kundli, I try and map their life, that why certain things happened, the good and bad. And I had sort of made a prediction around, for a particular YouTuber who I'm personally a big fan of. And I think he has contributed immensely in bringing spiritual and occult sciences to the youth, to the world in the most beautiful manner possible.
Oh, yes,
and
he has done very, very good work, and one of the biggest podcasters in India. And he has brought across a lot about Hinduism, astrology. So I think we owe a lot of thanks to him.
Yeah. So he's done he's produced a fantastic body of work. So I followed that, in his chart, there has to be a 8th, 12th connection for him to be so interested in occult and have his income through the 8th house matters. And luckily in one of the interviews, we found his chart with Astro Arun, I think, when an interview was happening. So he had given his chart, which gave us a lot more accuracy for what his chart is. And you will share the chart on the screen. So as per the timing, which can go a little off, but largely we know this is the end of Jupiter Rahu, which is the final padav of Jupiter Dasha, final end of Jupiter Dasha. And I had predicted that some changes in career will happen, which is the very nature of Dasha Sandhi, and especially a malefic entering Jupiter and Shani, Shani Dev being around the corner. And 2 days ago, when I got the news that, the accounts were hacked, etc., I was extremely heartbroken, but I was like, I saw something coming. Not exactly that it would happen, but I have largely seen when the moment Jupiter Rahu hits, especially, when there's like Jupiter Rahu Saturn, or there are like 2 malefics involved, one trigger point happens.
Yeah.
So this is what happened. And then I pulled out the chart, I pulled out the details, and I started studying again. I mapped the journey, that where did it pick up? And we are seeing that, there's a connection of 8-11. 11th Lord is in the 8th house, which being Mercury, right? Yeah. And 11th house was activated during the Jupiter Dasha. Also one of the reasons why, he had so much, his focus was occult. Also he's a Sun and Ketu, right? So rightly so, the person will lean towards spirituality. And even after his channel was back, I loved the attitude that he had, that whatever happens, happens for the best. And if God is there, something or the other will work out. But largely, I think in my journey of mapping Dasha Sandhi, especially if we talk about from Jupiter to Rahu, there's a lot of optimism during Jupiter Dasha. As you say, Jupiter is the kind of teacher where things happen very effortlessly. It's like, don't really want to say it in everyone's scales, but pretty much you touch anything and it turns into gold. Largely. And we know that Saturn is not that kind of a teacher. Saturn is a lot of hard work. It's value for money, I would say, justice. It's the big bazaar, So yeah, so the moment, the last quarter of Jupiter happened and I was waiting, and this is where the first jhatka that I presume that Shani Dev has given. But also what I've seen that whatever happens in the last leg of Jupiter Rahu, little jhatkas, like we can say little tremors start to come in. But the good part is, because for so many years your mental state is very Jupiterian. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
So the mental state is very Jupiterian. So the person is able to absorb the shocks with a lot of optimism. And things do start to change a bit the closer you get to Shani, which we'll talk about with you, and we'll touch base on the transition of Jupiter to Shani again. But sir, please tell us, what kind of a teacher is Shani? What to expect at a generic level in a Shani Dasha? Also pertaining this chart has Shani in its own Rashi in the fourth house. What kind of impacts usually are seen with that? And how can one, because there's so much pessimism around Shani, right? How can one look at it very optimistically, because everyone's there to teach you something?
Yeah. So there you go. First thing, coming from Jupiter to Shani, I have always seen a person go through three things. Okay. Number one, that positivity is replaced by a certain amount of cynicism. Jupiter, I've seen people being very big-hearted. They'll donate anything to anyone. They'll help anybody. They'll just, your luck is usually with you, so you become a little Pollyanna. You have those rose-colored glasses, and you think life is all good.
Yeah.
When Shani comes, the Shani chakra in your body gets activated. So from Jupiter Roop, remember, Mahadasha Lord, you will start to think, look, feel and behave like Mahadasha Lord.
Yeah.
So instead of becoming a happy-go-lucky Jupiter types, you become a grumpy, cynical Shani types. Okay. But this is a very nice man. This is a very good soul that we are talking about. Okay. I've seen that chart. He's a very spiritual soul. So he won't have it that bad. Okay. Plus, he has been around so many enlightened people that blessing rubs on you. So I'm pretty sure he'll make a comeback, but it is not going to be that easy anymore. And this is not the first challenge that has come. I usually don't make predictions about people. But Shani, particularly till the time Shani runs, he'll have to struggle. Shani Mercury, he'll take off once. Second thing which I have seen when you go from Shani to Jupiter is that abundance is replaced by restrictions. So I have had friends who were, living in 5 BHK houses. Suddenly transfer ho gaya kahan? Mumbai. Now they are in a 2 BHK.
Yeah.
I have clients who were like really, jet setting and traveling business class and everything. Abhi wo train ka ticket kara rahe, some company policy happen. So Shani brings a certain amount of restriction, and the lesson of Shani is to hustle through it. Okay. Jupiter is maximalism. Jupiter expands. Shani restricts. So, and Shani is minimalism. Okay. So I always tell my clients, downsize before you have to. Okay. Whenever Shani is coming, downside. Become less materialistic and more focused. Dekho, Shani is not Ketu. I cannot tell people, भैया सब छोड़ दो भगवान का नाम लो. That happens in Ketu.
Correct.
Right? Shani will drag you back to the world.
Yeah.
Jupiter में ना आदमी हवा में उड़ता. Shani brings the material reality. कि भैया आ जाओ. अभी let's come to the real world. And there are challenges that he puts, and you have to conquer them and go ahead. One thing that I advise my Shani clients is be too busy to feel depressed. A very sharp, intense increase in work hours is a very good idea.
Yeah.
Shani period, you need to work really hard. You need to, go for what you want and assume कि बस 20-30% time, effort, पैसा extra लगेगा. Another thing, do not depend on luck. जुपिटर में हमको किस्मत की आदत पड़ जाती है. शनि दशा यो किस्मत इस बॉस में अब चलता हूँ, है ना. So
Yeah.
you will have to live by your sweat. You can't live by your luck.
Yeah.
And शनि में whenever you try to do something, nothing is easy. Okay? आज हम लोग सुबह से ये करने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं, राइट. तो कभी टाइमिंग रीशेड्यूल हुआ, कभी डेट रीशेड्यूल हुई, कभी लाइट चला गया, कभी कुछ हो गया, बट हियर वी आर, राइट, डूइंग इट डिस्पाइट ऑल द डिफिकल्टीज. So that's the way Shani happens. Then this gentleman has a fourth house Shani, so definitely family life can be a struggle. And I don't think he's married, so that's something very personal. I wouldn't comment on that. But in a Shani period, it's all about your work.
Yeah.
The amount of content that he has lost, and the YouTube algorithm is like that. If you don't continuously upload stuff, your subscriber base would continue to stagnate. So he might have to work for really hard while Shani is there. Shani Mercury, yes, I expect him to make a strong comeback. I usually don't make such predictions, but I'm sticking my neck out and telling these two things. Yeah.
I think largely why we are doing this is I really didn't like, there were so many people getting happy and there were jokes like that, he's around so many Vastu people, astrology people, then why did this happen? I think ये largely एक लोगों का sentiment है कि इसके आपको तो astrology पता थी, आपने वास्तु change कर दिया, फिर क्यों हुआ? I think I want to make this very loud and clear to people. Astrology cannot change your destiny.
भाई आप डॉक्टर के बाप में तो आप मरोगे नहीं क्या? There are doctors with serious diseases, उनके फैमिली में भी डेथ होते हैं, ठीक है, you can take precautions, ठीक है, you can take your vitamins and your minerals and all that, but what is destined is destined. When the time is bad, I have seen the mightiest and the smartest people fail.
Have to hide.
So yeah.
Like रिस्ट्रिक्शन आ जाता है लाइफ में, रिफ्रेन आ जाता है, बिकॉज शनि आपको लंबी रेस का घोड़ा बनाता है.
So like you said, never celebrate anybody's bad luck.
Yeah.
It rubs on you.
So when people were trolling about that you are around so many occultists and so many holy people, God people, my point is it can't change anybody's destiny, even theirs. And I'm like, किसी से डरो या मत डरो, वक्त से डरो, because we see one dasha after another, good and bad will come in everybody's life. The biggest job I think that astrology does is it helps you accept, okay, the road is tricky ahead of us. Now I'm in a tricky period, Dasha Sandhi period. It's okay. Don't take everything to heart. The great came in life. It's a tough time. Let's sail through the tough time, put our head down. What does Shani want out of us? Let's focus. This is what Saturn wants. So let's align with the planets. Let's cooperate with them instead of going against them and mocking it. And I tell people, you want to mock it all you want. You hit Shani, Rahu, Ketu, you will be seeking astrology.
You'll find out. And
exactly the book you wrote, Bad Boys of Astrology, Shani, Rahu, Ketu.
So, astrology is like your Google Maps.
Yeah.
इधर ट्रैफिक ज्यादा है, यहाँ से दाएं मुड़े, यहाँ धीरे चलें. So you have to adjust according to the advice. वो रोड थोड़ी बदल देगा गूगल मैप. रोड तो जो है वो है. So it's more of a margdarshak. Remedies, yes, they have their own place. But Dridh karma, nobody can change. Dridh karma is Dridh karma. And Shani, in my view, represents the maximum amount of Dridh karma.
Yeah.
Shani and Ketu. Rahu not so much, but Shani and Ketu, yes. So Shani Dasha, whenever it hits somebody, it usually starts on a low note.
Yeah.
Shani, you have to sweat it out. And this is a young man. I'm sure he has a lot of energy and sweat it out. I'm sure he'll make a comeback.
I think, sir, मेरे को लगता है कि सन केतु है क्योंकि कुंडली में शनि अपनी राशि में भी है, and because he's been around so much of this kind of energy, and I think consistently in his podcast I've heard that I want to take a lot of time, if XYZ happens, I want to spend a lot of time knowing myself, understanding life through spirituality, religion, whatever you may call it. and I think एक वो desire था उसके अंदर हमेशा से. So maybe Shani will give this opportunity for him to experience it at this point and really focus down on work, what he wants to do. Because when Shani comes, जो Jupiter में हमारा एक ego बनता है ना, because everything is going great for you, especially post second half of the quarter. वो reality check देना बहुत जरूरी होता है, otherwise we fly too high and become very arrogant.
And you know, he's a very young man and he has achieved so much. So एक बार थोड़ा ब्रेक लगता है. जुपिटर लाइफ का एक्सेलरेटर है और शनि लाइफ का ब्रेक है. So, आता है, सब पे आता है. You know, some very big industrialists have seen them suffer. I can't take names. My lot of clients, I always tell them, they go, Shani, you can't go around it. You have to go through it. तो वो जो चैलेंज है आप अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते उसको. You know, you'll have to sweat it out with Shani. You'll have to work it out with Shani. और शनि में दो तीन चीजें बड़े काम की होती है. पहली चीज हार्ड वर्क, दूसरी चीज रूटीन, तीसरी चीज डिसिप्लिन. वो एक वो आया था ना, एक वीडियो आया था, आई डोंट नो इफ यू रिमेम्बर इट. वो एक लड़का मैकडॉनल्ड्स में काम करने के बाद दौड़ता हुआ घर जाता था बिकॉज ही वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर अ मिलिट्री थिंग. तो शनि में दैट्स द काइंड ऑफ लाइफ वन शुड लिव. सुबह से रात तक काम किया, रात को जिम किया, घर गए, सो गए. सो यू आर टू बिजी. शनि नेवर बॉदर्स अ बिजी मैन. That's the beauty of Shani.
Yeah.
So if you are very busy building yourself, Shani wouldn't break you down.
Yeah. So sir, what are your views on Shani being in Aquarius? So if you tell us a little bit more about Shani, the sign Aquarius, and especially Shani's impact on Aquarius, and the aspects that Saturn is having here. So
it's
just
a
throw some
fourth
light
house
on
Shani.
that.
It's a fourth house Shani. I've made a video on fourth house Shani, and I always say, remember house over signs. Give me a debilitated Shani in the 10th. Don't give me an exalted Shani in the 8th. So Aquarius Shani is not a bad Shani. But you need to remember, even if you have a Libra Shani in a bad house, your Shani is bad. So many times people come to me, sir, मेरा तो शनि उच्च का है. मैंने कहा महाराज बैठा आपके 12वें है, ज़्यादा सेलिब्रेट मत करो. So similarly, fourth house Shani, one thing which I've seen is when Shani sits in Aquarius, it gives a certain amount of humanity to a person. You know, your karma is more towards people at large. For example, a Mesh Shani can be me. Okay. But an Aquarius, any planet sitting in Aquarius tends to become a little altruistic. जैसा वो दुनिया का भला करना है टाइप. So there are two signs which donate a lot to charity. One is Cancer, other is Aquarius. Number 3 is Pisces. Cancer does very personal stuff. You know, बच्चे हैं उनको खाना खिला देगा. Aquarius doesn't want to get involved with individuals. It is more of a people thing. तो वो क्या करेगा, चेक काट के चुपचाप अपने फेवरेट चैरिटी को भेज देगा. Shani in the sign of Aquarius becomes altruistic, and particularly if it's in Shatabhisha, I have seen these people become doctors or healers. Particularly अगर 6th house Shani, I've seen a lot of doctors. उसके बाद में डिपेंड करता है कहाँ क्या जाता है. That's an individual chart. I don't want to talk too much about it because that is where you overstep.
So sir, जैसे शनि यहाँ चौथे घर में बैठा है, so 3-4 I think optimistic and challenging aspects of Shani in the 4th. What would you say that one should look out for?
Okay, so the first thing, Shani in the 4th, I've seen mummy issues. I'm not saying this individual has that. I'm just telling you generic about it. You crave for the approval of your mother, which you don't get. Okay, there is always some other bacha who is the favorite of the mother. So Shani, I mean, with the due tip of hat to Saptarishi astrology, Sunil John Saab, he came up with this thing. Shani सौतेलेपन का कारक है. Okay. So Shani जहाँ बैठेगा आपको उससे सौतेला व्यवहार मिलेगा. Now how to handle
slave
that?
बना देगा आपको उस घर का.
Slave बना देगा. How to handle that? I did my research. क्योंकि वो बनाएगा, सौतेला व्यवहार मिलेगा. How do you handle that? You need to know about it. So I did my Shani sadhana while I was writing my book, and it took me years and years and years. Rahu Ketu
Yeah.
happened through inspiration, you know. Shani
Yeah.
is perspiration. So Shani
Absolutely.
article, Shani Mahadasha article, which went viral, it took me 2.5 years. 3-4 डायरी मैंने आज तक संभाल के रखा है. I had to make those notes. I had to take around a lot of interviews. So शनि के दो चेहरे हैं. Okay. One is that of a slave. So by default, you are given a slave face of Shani wherever Shani sits. So if you have a 9th house Shani, you are slave to your father. If you have a 4th house Shani, you behave slavish towards your mother. But between the age of 36 and 42, Shani starts to rebel. क्योंकि एक बार वो शनि maturity आ जाती है आदमी में, then you are able to see कि भाई ये हो क्या रहा है. And if you are wise and there is somebody to guide you, okay, they will tell you कि भैया, let's say you have a 4th house Shani, you behave very slavish towards your mother and your entire clan of origin. Not just your mother, you know, your brothers, sisters, everybody. Original family के आप गुलाम बन जाते हो. And that
Yeah. क्योंकि चौथा
hammers,
घर आपके
and that hammers your married life. मैंने अक्सर देखा, you know, because of the mother and the brother sisters, a man, especially for males, a man throws his married life under the bus. वो भी बच्चों को sacrifice करते रहेंगे आंख बंद करके. The question is, how do you handle that? What you do is you go from slave mode of Shani to judge mode of Shani. शनि का दूसरा higher face उसका judge का है. So मैं वही कहता हूँ, भाई गुलाम बनोगे तो बेड़ियां और हथकड़ियां मिलेंगी. जज बनोगे तो अच्छी सीट, बंगला, अर्दली सब मिलेगा. So you have to behave with a very detached, rational way towards that house. Because you have to say कि मम्मी यहाँ पे आप सही हो, I'm with you, यहाँ पे आप गलत हो, I'm against you. Because if you hurt them, you are sent on a guilt trip. But if you are like a judge,
I think you're always seeking validation from that
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. You know, that is why Shani Chandra is considered so bad in the same house. अब आप क्या करो, आपको प्यार भी है उस घर से, आपको सतीला पर भी मिल रहा. So that is called wish yoga. So उसका तोड़ यही है, you become a judge towards that house and very objective. No love, no hate, just sheer justice.
Yeah.
That is how you get out of it.
Yeah.
दूसरी चीज, the house of Shani, you have to go through it, you can't go around it. So you'll have to finish your karma arc, go from beginning to the end, see through it, fight your way out of it, and then get liberated.
Yeah.
And you will have to do your Dridh karma, whatever you owe to that house. उतना time तो आप slave रहोगे, तब तक शनि आके खोलने नहीं.
तो सर ऑल्सो आई फील, मैंने जो 4th हाउस में देखा है, स्पेशली जब दशा आती है तो आपका यू नो इफ समवन्स लिविंग अ वेरी लैविश लाइफ, सडनली वहां बहुत रिस्ट्रिक्शन आ जाती है बिकॉज 4th इज ऑल्सो योर होम, राइट. अ लॉट ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टुवर्ड्स होम कम्स. अपने कंधे पर घर के टुवर्ड्स बहुत बड़ा बनना पड़ता है उस समय.
Yeah, because Shani brings maturity. शनि कहीं भी बैठा हो, शनि की दशा आते ही शनि जहां बैठा है और मकर कुंभ कहां पड़ रहे हैं. You need to remember this. Those houses will become activated. So you have to see उन houses में बहुत action होने वाला है. And of course शनि का दृष्टि, but वो discuss करेंगे तो निकल जाएगा बहुत time. We just have.
But quickly let's start. अगर किसी और की भी इस टाइप की प्लेसमेंट हो, if Shani is sitting in the 4th, is looking at the 6th house, the 10th house, which is a 7th aspect. So Saturn ki aspects, I will just clarify, is 3, 7, 10. Right? So it's looking at the 7th house and 8, 9 and the 1st house. Right?
Yeah. So 6th house, there can be sudden onset of diseases. Okay. There can be legal troubles. There can be enemies you don't know, they suddenly crawl out of the woods and they come out when you are at your bottom. Yeah, now he'll get to know who are his friends, who are his enemies.
Yeah. Routine भी होता है छठा घर.
वो तो हम बात कर चुके हैं शनि में. Since it is sitting in the 4th house, mother can get into some trouble or mother can become source of trouble. 10th हाउस पे उसकी
So
दृष्टि
challenges
पड़ती,
with the mother, we can
चैलेंज
say.
दिया। 10th हाउस पे दृष्टि पड़ते ही बिजनेस को धक्का लगता है। फर्स्ट हाउस पे पड़ती है 10th दृष्टि, विच इज द मोस्ट डिफिकल्ट। एक बार तो आदमी खुद को डाउन जाता फील करता है, एंड देयर कैन बी हेल्थ इश्यूज, देयर कैन बी मेंटल स्ट्रेस, अगेन डिपेंड्स कौन कौन से प्लैनेट्स को देख रहा है, सो इट्स अ वेरी वाइड।
आई थिंक लोगों को भी समझना चाहिए, बहुत सारे कॉम्बिनेशंस होते हैं। आई थिंक किस राशि में है, कोई पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट है या नहीं है। आपने अनदर थिंग ऑफ सर वेरी स्ट्रांगली सीन इज कि जुपिटर में जो लोग बहुत एक अपना कोर, अपनी जड़ें स्पिरिचुअलिटी की तरफ बहुत स्ट्रांग बना लेते हैं ना, उनको वो जुपिटर एंड टू शनि, शनि वाला पीरियड उतना तकलीफ में नहीं होता। बिकॉज अ वेरी पॉपुलर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट सेड वेरी ब्यूटिफुली कि लाइफ में कोई हैंडल होना चाहिए पकड़ने के लिए। So, Mr. Anil Agrawal of Vedanta, in his interviews, constantly said in his tough times, he went to ISKCON and Lord Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita, and he was holding by it. And I've seen it personally with some people. अगर उनकी practice बहुत strong है Jupiter में, तो in that transient, in that transition phase, they have something very strong, some faith to hold on to. तो वो इतना बिखरते नहीं हैं. So, would you agree with that?
Yes, because Shani is Karmadhikari. Lord Krishna has a very Shani connection. You see this Krishna wala photo behind me, that's a special Krishna yantra. One of my friends gifted it. So, I'll tell you, when Krishna was undergoing Ketu Mahadasha Mahabharata, and for people undergoing Shani, particularly Shani Ketu periods, I tell them to read interpretations of Geeta. It's a very complicated book. I fail to understand it. Let me be honest. Mahabharata, I am an expert. Geeta, I fail to understand. I have read some very good interpretations. I think the best one comes from Osho and Swami Chinmayananda. मेरे दोस्त हैं इस्कॉन मंक नित्य गोपाल दास जी, उनका चैनल है गीता गाइड करके। सो गीता इज फार मोर कॉम्प्लिकेटेड। एट टाइम्स पीपल कम टू, मैं आप गीता क्यों नहीं सिखाते? मैं कहता हूँ मुझे ठीक से नहीं आती। महाभारत पढ़ना, आई कैन स्टार्ट क्लासेस, नो प्रॉब्लम। बट वन थिंग रिमेंबर, जब शनि केतु, व्हाई आई सजेस्ट गीता एज अ रेमेडी इन शनि केतु, बिकॉज अर्जुन इज इन फुल केतु मोड कि मैं तो जंगल में रह लूंगा, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मैं सब छोड़ के चला जाऊंगा, क्या फायदा। कृष्णा गेट्स इन शनि मोड के भाई ये मटेरियल रियलिटी है, तुम चले जाओगे हार जाएंगे, एंड वंस वी लूज हेल विल ब्रेक लूज, बिकॉज यू विल हैव दुर्योधन, दुशासन एंड शकुनी rolling over the land, so I can't let that happen. So while Arjun, like Ketu, is more into material reality, running away from this thing, Shani is Krishna, like in a Shani manner, trying to drag him back to material reality कि भाई ये भी सच है, जगत इस प्रकट ब्रह्म। You cannot say कि साहब ब्रह्म सत्य जगत मिथ्या। Maybe for Ketu people, maybe for some saints, for a common man, particularly for a ruler, jagat is prakat brahm, and Shani will never let you escape from the material reality.
Not at all. Shani will not let you escape from any situation. You will have no choice but to sit there, face it. And Shani, people usually say eat, sleep, repeat. I would say Shani is repeat, repeat, repeat.
Occasionally eat and sleep. Huh? So Shani is about reality, the brutal, hardcore reality.
Yeah.
So you have to face it, and like I said, you can't go around Shani, you have to go through Shani. So with this, we come to the end of this interview. I have a meeting after that, and thank you so much for arranging this on a quick notice, and this was your idea. I hope people like this video. It has been a long while I haven't done a video. I'll maybe release it in Navratri. I don't want to release a Shani video in Shraddha. I'm a little superstitious about it. Let's see how it goes. So,
sir, I just wanted to, I wanted to reiterate on something towards the end of the video. One, anybody who's going through the end of Jupiter, please take this as a pointer that it's, the small jhatkas that you're getting, stay put, hold on to, do lean towards spirituality and a reality check. I promise you it's there to teach you something. The most difficult situations turn you into a very strong person. So don't get depressed or don't lose hope, because you will see light eventually. And second, anybody who trolls, and especially such a a person who has brought, I think, given so much to the internet and such positive things to the internet, वरना लोग आपस में कुछ बुरा ही बोल रहे होते हैं. And इतने यंग लोगों के तक इतनी धार्मिकता, आध्यात्मिकता, इतनी इतनी प्रकार प्रकार का ज्ञान he has taken. So be kind to someone, don't celebrate someone's failure, because do remember, either or of the dashas you're going to face too. So be compassionate when people are going through something, and we'll support him and anybody who's going through a tough time as much as we can, and follow the rules of Shani, which is focus, work hard, be humble.
So I always tell such people कि boss, before you celebrate anybody's misfortune, remember तुम्हारे chart में भी शनि है, and he's watching.
बिल्कुल.
These guys, they never sleep, they're always watching. So keep your karma clean, you have a better life, and I hope this gentleman makes a strong comeback very soon. I wish him all the best. Thank you so much. Jai Shani.